So you keep seeing all these updates on the news about what's going on in Venezuela, what's happening in China. Are China and Russia colluding? How is India participating in this? But what you don't realize is all of these things, actually, these geopolitical events actually affect everything that's going to happen to us here in the US over the next couple of years. Whatever conflict's going on in Europe, global wealth looks for some type of safe haven. And the United States real estate has always been a safe haven, especially for foreign buyers. In San Diego, we see the increased demand for luxury and investment properties when these type of geopolitical events happen. And why is that? Because those investors that are coming from foreign countries are looking at the US rule of law and property rights, because we have rights as property owners here. And that means we are the sturdiest in the world for rights and the rule of law. So this keeps our floor prices higher than almost anywhere else in the world. And how does that affect you? It controls the mortgage rates more than you think. The global risk increases, investors panic, and then the US Treasury bonds start, moving bond prices around and yields move in opposite directions. And then it's a panic. And then the next thing we know, buyers stop buying, sellers stop selling, and we have like this stagnation that's happening in the market, and everything is just flat. We've really been in that stagnation period at this point for about 3 years. So in reality, since the mortgage rates track the 10-year Treasury bonds, a global crisis can actually cause a sudden temporary drop in real estate interest rates. So think about that. Think about what just happened in Venezuela. Think about what happened in Ukraine. Every time those events are taking place and there's some type of panic in the global market, real estate interest rates are starting to drop a little bit in our country. Basically, geopolitics is currently driving a reshoring movement, which brings manufacturing back to the US to avoid global destruction. So if you think about it, it's industrial patriotism, but also if you think about like Venezuela is much closer to us for fuel and for gas, for oil, than if we had to go all the way to the Middle East to buy oil. So there's a lot of like adjustments that are happening in the geopolitical environment right now to kind of bring things closer to our shorelines. As the US shifts towards energy dependence and domestic tech production, like the CHIPS Act that's happening in the United States right now, we are going to see massive job growth in defense, biotechnology, engineering, and here in San Diego County, we are a geopolitical hedged hub for those industries, meaning that our local economy is going to stay resilient to global shocks, and our cities are going to be dependent on pure retail and hospitality as well. So we have all of those environments here in San Diego, and that's why we're saying if you want to talk about getting into the market now, before the spring and the summer really hit, you need to start talking to us, because these policies are coming out and they are going to influence what happens in mortgages and home purchases. So thanks for joining us today at JAG Lifestyle.